Hey folks, it's time for the quote of the day. I apologize for the rain. It's summer in Florida, so it's pretty much a constant. Now, for today, we're gonna do something I don't do all that often. I think I've only done it a few times. I'm gonna be quoting actors because it's their birthday, two of them actually. But I'm gonna quote their characters that they played, not the actual actors themselves. And that is not because the actors don't have anything to say. They absolutely do. If any actors do, it's probably these two. But I really want to get to the characters today, and there's a reason for that. I'm going to get to that in a second. But before I do that, I also want to point out that it is also the Cheech Marin, the comedian Cheech and Chong. It's his birthday today too, and I would quote him, but a lot of the shit that he said, whether in character or not, is kind of vulgar, and that's good because I love that. It's also the director Cameron Crowe's birthday, and he's directed a lot of movies that I absolutely fucking love. So I wanted to mention them too. If you're a fan of them, pay them a few minutes of homage. But for today, we're going to be quoting two of the most iconic actors alive today. And there's a funny story that's going to tie this to Sam Neill as well, since he just passed yesterday, I guess. So today we're going to be quoting Patrick Stewart. Now, of course, Patrick Stewart is Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and he's also Professor X, and he's also everything else. He's been everything. He's been in everything, and he is fucking phenomenal in everything he's ever been in. He is a masterclass actor at every level. I absolutely love him. He's a better person than he is an actor, and that is an impressive feat. And it's also, keeping it in the space theme, it's also Harrison Ford's birthday. Now, I didn't actually know that Harrison Ford and Patrick Stewart shared a birthday. I don't need to tell you who Harrison fucking Ford is. Everybody knows who Harrison fucking Ford is. I'm pretty sure that legally you have to say Harrison fucking Ford every time you say his name. I didn't make the rules. That's just what I understand. Now, who am I quoting? I'm quoting Jean-Luc Picard and Han Solo, because they're the two of the most iconic characters ever played. Now, keep in mind, once again, you're talking about Indiana Jones. You're talking about what? It's so many parts that I can't even begin to tell you what they are. You know them, and what's funny is that everybody's got their own thing. They're always like, well, don't forget this and don't forget this, and it's not that I'm forgetting them. It's just, these are the iconic parts. Now, as far as the Sam Neill connection, this is something maybe not a lot of people knew, but I thought, it's Harrison Ford's birthday, so maybe we should mention it. The part of Dr. Alan Grant that Sam Neill is now, synonymous with, was originally offered to Harrison Ford. And Steven Spielberg really wanted Harrison Ford to play Dr. Alan Grant. And when Harrison Ford declined, he turned it down. Steven Spielberg was bereft. He was like, what the fuck? Who's going to play? This is like, he basically made him to be like paleontologist Indiana Jones. And fucking Sam Neill walked in, and the rest is literally history. Nobody can imagine Harrison Ford playing that part. Nobody can imagine anybody else playing that part. Dr. Alan Grant is an iconic pop culture piece of work that Sam Neill made his own. There is nobody else that could play that part. And I think that when you think about somebody like Harrison Ford, one of the most legendary actors, perhaps the greatest actor of our generation. I don't know. I would say it's Morgan Freeman, but or Denzel Washington maybe. But outside of those guys, like, he's absolutely one of the top actors of our time. And he turned it down, and Sam Neill took that part from him and made it something legendary and beautiful. And I just think about that, and I think it's just such a powerful statement of how great Sam Neill was. And obviously I have other videos about Sam Neill, so I'm not going to go too much into him, but I saw that tidbit, and I actually knew that from a long time ago, but it didn't register until I saw Harrison Ford's name, and I was like, oh, I got to share that. So we're going to talk about them. I don't feel like I need to talk too much about the actors themselves, because, well, fuck, everybody knows everything about them. They're that fucking iconic. Everybody knows who they are. Everybody knows everything about them. So there's nothing I'm going to really tell you other than trivial stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you why I wanted to quote their characters. I saw a video, I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, of a young woman. She was probably, I don't know, 25 or so, and she had this list. I've seen people stitching with her and people talking about it, and a lot of people agree with her, which I thought was a little weird. But she has a list of things that she says once you reach, I think she said 30 or 40, once you reach a certain age, you shouldn't do anymore. And she names a bunch of shit that I do all those things. And I thought, it's really weird that somebody wants to take the internet. And I know it's the internet, so people do all sorts of shit. But it's like, why would you take the internet and tell other people what maturity is? Like, yeah, I like my nails long, and I like my long hair, and I like my beard, and I like wearing my glasses, and I like playing with toys, and I like playing video games, and I like doing all these things. Does that mean I'm not an adult? Maybe. That's fine. But it's weird to have that take. And so, as a bit of a thumb of the nose to that way of thinking, I thought I have the opportunity to quote two of the greatest characters in Captain Jean-Luc Picard and the smuggler scoundrel with a heart of gold, Han Solo. And I don't see how anybody could find fault with that. These are characters that exist in our hearts. These are characters that we grew up with. These are characters that are emblematic of some of the greatest moments and greatest things that we've ever seen. It's often lost on people how important storytelling is. And these characters are characters that we have, to a certain degree, lived vicariously through. The wisdom, the snark, if you will, of Han Solo, the wisdom of Picard. Like, these are things that people emulate. These are things that people watch and they say, I want to be like that. I want to be like Jean-Luc Picard. I do. I'm not going to lie about it. And so I just thought I would share some quotes by them, because I think there's a good lesson in that. I think that we oftentimes look for reasons to be adult and to be mature and to be grown up. And it's a mistake that we make to distance ourselves from the very stories and the very things that we love growing up. It's a mistake to do that. It's a mistake to think that somehow that's the right path. It's not. Love those things. Incorporate them into who you are. There's a reason why geek culture is what it is. And it's you don't often see a lot of really unhappy geeks unless you get on like Star Wars message boards. Anyway, for the quote of the day, I had to stop there because I really wasn't sure which one I wanted to go with first. I had to kind of think about it. So I'm going to go with Picard first because I think it sets up the second one. And the Picard one's a little bit more serious, obviously. So in the movie Nemesis, which if you haven't seen it, this might not mean as much to you, but it's a great Star Trek movie. Picard says, buried deep within you, beneath all the years of pain and anger, there is something that has never been nurtured. The potential to make yourself a better man. And that is what it means to be human. To make yourself more than you are. I'm going to read that again because this is at the heart of everything I do here. And I think that it is exceedingly important, even though it comes from a starship captain from a TV show. It is exceedingly important. Jean-Luc Picard, in the movie Nemesis, said, buried deep within you, beneath all the years of pain and anger, there is something that has never been nurtured. The potential to make yourself a better man. And that is what it is to be human. To make yourself more than you are. And I can't possibly explain to you how much that means to me and how important that is to me. That very concept, that very idea. Now, if you know me, you know exactly what I'm going to quote from Han Solo. And I don't really need to explain myself here. But if you know anything about me and my channel, you know how much I mean this. Han Solo says in A New Hope, Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster by your side, kid. From his lips to God's ears, I swear to God that is absolutely me. And in case any of you want to tell me that you love me, I know. Happy birthday to Patrick Stewart and to Harrison Ford, two of the greatest actors of our time. For the rest of you, please, Take care of yourself. Take care of others. I'll talk to you soon.